Hey there, Ian here again. Fall is just around the corner, and for me, it's already here. Good indication, days are getting shorter, it's a little bit chillier at night, the leaves are already starting to change color where I am, but also a great indicator is the vegetables. There's so many vegetables coming out of the garden and into the kitchen, almost to the point where I don't know what to do with a lot of them. But then what do I do with those vegetables that are like bruised and blemished and have cracks and splits in them? Like this. I don't want to serve that to people. I don't want to give that away. But I can make that like a nice rustic roasted tomato and red pepper soup. It's going to be delicious. So let's cut the chit chat and get on with it. All right, so first off, ingredients list. We're going to go ahead and we're going to have 1 onion, 6 medium to large tomatoes, 6 peppers, 4 to 6 cups of bone broth, vegetable broth, chicken broth, whatever you want. Today I'm going to use chicken broth. Fresh basil, 4 cloves of garlic. Really, garlic doesn't matter as much as like garlic in my mind is like chocolate chips in a recipe. You go ahead and measure that shit with your heart. No cloves, I might just use 6. Salt, pepper. We're also going to go with a half a cup of heavy cream and a teaspoon of sugar. And I'm going to show you something at the very end that's going to take that soup to the next level. From amateur to professional. So first up, we're going to go with our onion. We're going to take our onion, slice the ends off, peel it, and cut it into rounds. With the onion itself, you don't have to worry about, you want something on a medium to large size because you're going to slice it and you're going to char the onion itself. So you want to get more char and more blistering across the onion surface as possible. Then next, take your tomatoes, inspect them for blemishes. Just go ahead with a paring knife and cut those out. Wash it, put it on a sheet tray so we can take it outside. After that, we're going to go ahead and move on to our peppers. Same thing with the peppers. Wash them, remove any blemishes, anything that's like had insect damage, go from there. Now that you have your vegetables ready, we're going to go outside. You're going to want to preheat your barbecue for this. If you don't want to use the whole barbecue, just go ahead and use the side burner. If you have a side burner, that works great for it. So you just want to place your vegetables onto the burner directly over the flame. And you want to get that nice blistered, charred skin on it. And that's exactly what you're looking for all the onions, peppers, and tomatoes. If you're liking this content so far, I'd greatly appreciate it if you go ahead and hit like and subscribe. That lets me know what I'm doing is reaching you and that you're liking this content. By us going ahead and charring it, we'll give a nice smoky depth of flavor to that soup. That's gonna just make it over the top phenomenal. Next, remove them, char the rest of it, bring it inside. Once the tomatoes and peppers are cooked, go ahead and add them to a bowl and cover tight with saran wrap. You want to do this so that it locks in all the moisture and all the heat into the bowl. You're going to let it sit for 10 minutes. I'll let you in on the secret once you take off the cover and I'll show you what has happened. All right, so now that 10 minutes is up, go ahead and remove that cover. You can see all that steam in there. So the importance of this is to keep all that heat in, and so the moisture gets underneath that skin of the tomatoes and peppers, and the skin comes off easily. And don't worry, you're taking the skins off. You're not gonna lose a lot of flavor to this. You're just getting rid of some of the bitter taste. Plus you wanna get rid of the skins because the skins are gonna add a weird texture to your soup once you blend it. Once the skin has been removed from the peppers, go ahead and take the seeds out as well. You don't want any extra seeds or pith or that white part on the inside of the peppers. So now that all your peppers, tomatoes, and onions are all cleaned up, you're gonna go ahead and grab yourself a large pot and put 3 tablespoons of olive oil. Wait for the oil to heat up, then roughly chop onions and peppers and put them into the pot and let them simmer for about 2 minutes. Once that 2 minutes is up, after that, go ahead and chop roughly 4 cloves, 6 cloves, 10 cloves, 30 cloves. Go ahead and chop 4 cloves of garlic. Roughly chop it, throw it in the pot. And let it simmer for another minute or so. Once that's up, take your tomatoes, dump them into the pot, and then any other juices that are left at the bottom of the tray or the bowl, go ahead and dump those in too. That's flavor. Add the flavor. We're gonna bump up the flavor. Next up, once all your veggies are in there, go ahead and pour in your 4 cups of chicken broth. Let it simmer on medium for 10 minutes. Once all the vegetables are cooked and they're nice and soft and be ready to puree, before you do that, go ahead and add in 1 full cup of fresh basil. It's gonna give a really great flavor to your soup, but also if you don't have fresh basil, that's fine. Go ahead and use dry basil, but use it like very sparingly, like probably use about 3 tablespoons of dry basil. So once that's in, next we're going to blend. But when you're blending, I'm gonna use my immersion blender, but you can go ahead and use your stand blender for this, and you're just gonna blend it till everything's smooth. About 95% blended. It's okay there's a little bit of chunks in there, but you wanna make sure a lot of it's smooth. If you're going for more of a rustic soup that's chunky and hearty looking, then you can just blend it about 50% and still have some chunks of tomatoes and peppers and onions in there. It's gonna add a nice visual appearance to it if you do that. Now once that's all blended, we're gonna go ahead and add in our salt and pepper, season it to how you want it to taste, and also go ahead and add in that 1/2 cup of cream. And then just go ahead and stir it. Incorporate everything, it's gonna get nice and velvety and smooth, it's gonna lighten up in color, it's gonna look phenomenal. You thought I was gonna forget, but I didn't forget. Now, to add the chef's kiss to the end of the dish, go ahead and add in 2 tablespoons of butter. Go ahead and mix that in. You're like, Ian, I already put cream in here. The butter is gonna make it nice and smooth. It's gonna add this great background flavor to the soup. It's gonna take it from amateur to professional. People are gonna be asking, what did you do? Why is the soup so great? You know what? You can go ahead and share it with them, or you can keep it as your little secret between you and me. Well, that's it for me today. I had a great time putting this soup together. Have fun putting it together with you and your family. It's gonna taste amazing. It's this great soup for the fall. It's just gonna lift your spirits on a cold day when it's raining and the wind's blowing. It's just gonna hit the spot. Thank you. I'll see you next time.